Welcome to the magical world of For You Kids. I am your friend and guide. Before we start tonight's story, imagine a place full of colors and laughter, where surprises hide in every corner. Now, let's get comfy and ready to drift into a beautifully dreamy adventure. A wolf and 7 little goats. Good evening, dear little friends. I'm your sister Bella. Tonight, let's listen to a story together before bed. In a faraway forest, there lived a gentle mother goat and her 7 little babies. These little goats had soft wool and bright eyes, and they played happily every day under their mother's care. But in the forest, there was a sly big bad wolf who always wanted to catch these little goats to eat. The mother goat knew about the big bad wolf's bad intentions, so she always reminded the little goats to be careful. In a sunny morning, the mother goat needed to go to the market to buy some things. She told the little goats who locked the door and not to open it for anyone. The little goats promised to do as she said. But after the mother goat left, the big bad wolf came to their door. He tried all sorts of ways to trick the little goats into opening the door, but the little goats were very clever and didn't fall for his tricks. The big bad wolf got angry and thought of a bad idea. He decided to pretend to be the mother goat to trick the little goats. He found some wool to stick on himself and then came back to the little goat's door. Kids, open the door. Mommy's back. The big bad wolf used a gentle voice to call out. The little goats heard the voice, but the smallest goat felt something was wrong. He told his brothers and sisters, "That's not Mommy. Mommy's voice isn't like that." The little goats decided not to open the door and asked the big bad wolf questions to reveal his true identity. big bad wolf couldn't answer and had to leave angrily. When the mother goat returned and heard the story, she was very happy and proud because her children were both smart and brave. This story tells us that even in the face of danger, we should be like the little goats, staying alert and using our intelligence. Now, let's continue to listen to the story and see how the little goats use their wisdom to escape from the big bad wolf time and again. Good night, dear little friends, and I hope you have sweet dreams. In a faraway forest, lived a very clever mother goat and her 7 cute baby goats. Their home was a warm and cozy little house surrounded by lush trees and colorful wildflowers. The mother goat loved her children very much. Every day, she told them interesting stories about the forest, taught them to recognize different plants and animals, and how to avoid dangers in the forest. The mother goat was not only wise but also very hardworking. Every morning, she woke up early and took her children to forage for food in the forest, telling them which foods were safe and which were poisonous. Under her guidance, the little goats learned many survival skills. But the forest was not just home to small animals and beautiful scenery. There was also a crafty big bad wolf. The big bad wolf always hid in the shadows, watching the mother goat and her children, looking for a chance to steal them away. One day, the mother goat felt that her children had grown up enough, and she needed to go to a distant place to buy some supplies like clothes for the children and some books. She knew there were dangers in the forest, but she also knew her children needed these items. So the mother goat decided to set out on a sunny morning. Before she left, she repeatedly told the little goats to lock the doors and windows and not to open the door for strangers, especially the crafty bad wolf. After the mother goat left, the little goats started playing inside the house. They jumped, chased each other, and even pretended to go on adventures in the forest like their mom had taught them. The smallest goat, always the most lively, was called Bouncy. He always came up with new games to entertain everyone. But while the little goats were having fun, strange noise came from the forest. It was the sound of the big bad wolf's footsteps as he quietly approached the mother goat's house. The big bad wolf's eyes gleamed with cunning as he knew the mother goat wasn't home. And it was his best chance. The big bad wolf stood in front of the house, took a deep breath, and began to mimic the mother goat's voice. He used the gentlest tone he could muster and said, "Kids, Mommy's back. Open the door." The little goats heard the voice, stopped playing, and gathered in front of the door. They looked at each other, full of doubt. "Mommy, is that you?" the little goats asked. The big bad wolf continued to mimic the mother goat's voice and replied, "Yes, my babies. It's Mommy." But the little goats didn't immediately open the door. They remembered their mother's words about not trusting voices outside the door. The little goat started asking the big bad wolf questions to confirm his identity. "Mommy, what did you buy today? Mommy, what color is your dress?" The big bad wolf was caught off guard. He hadn't prepared answers for these questions. He stammered, trying to get through it. The little goats felt something was wrong and decided not to open the door. The smallest goat, Pouncy, said, "That's not Mommy. Mommy's voice isn't like that." The other goats agreed, and they decided to continue playing inside, waiting for their real mommy to come back. The big bad wolf felt very frustrated, knowing his plan had failed. He quietly left the house and vowed he wouldn't give up The little goats sat around a warm fireplace. Their excitement and curiosity turning into tension and worry. They knew the outside world was full of unknowns and dangers, especially the sly big bad wolf. But the little goats didn't let fear overwhelm them. They comforted and encouraged each other, showing their bravery and wisdom. The oldest goat, called Smarty, was always able to come up with solutions to problems. He told his siblings, "Don't be afraid. Mommy will be back soon." We need to trust her words and not open the door for anyone. The other little goats felt much more at ease after hearing Smarty's words. Just then, strange sounds came from outside the house. It was the big bad wolf trying different ways to trick the little goats. First, he mimicked the mother goat's voice, then pretended to be a delivery person and even acted as a lost traveler. But no matter how much the big bad wolf changed his voice and identity, the little goats were not fooled. They firmly believed that their real mommy would come back in a familiar way. The little goats started singing to dispel fear and unease. Their song echoed through the forest, full of hope and courage. The smallest goat, Pouncy, began to dance joyfully. His light and lively dance steps made the other goats join in, filling the house with laughter and songs. The big bad wolf outside felt confused and helpless. That big bad wolf wandered outside for a long time, trying to find a way into the house. But each time, the little goats cleverly foiled his attempts. He became frustrated, but his heart was still full of greed and malice. He decided to leave for now. But he secretly vowed he wouldn't give up and would find a chance to catch the little goats. Meanwhile, the little goats kept singing and dancing inside the house. Their hearts were full for their mommy and their home. They knew that as long as they stayed united, nothing could defeat them. They believed that no matter how dangerous the outside world was, as long as they had love, they had the strength to face anything. As the night fell, the sounds in the forest became more mysterious. That bad wolf paced outside of the house, reaching the limits of his patience and cunning. He decided to take one last action and force his way into the house. He began banging on the door, trying to break it down. The little goats heard the banging sound and immediately stopped singing and dancing. Smarty quickly led the younger ones to hide in the deepest part of the house. They found a concealed spot and hid. The banging on the door grew louder, and it seemed like the door could break down at any moment. Just then, the mother goat's voice came from afar. She was already back from the market and heard the big bad wolf banging on the door. She hurried towards the house. The mother goat used all her strength to push the big bad wolf away and protect her children. The big bad wolf was surprised and scared to see the mother goat return so quickly. He hadn't expected the mother goat to come back so soon, and he knew his plan had completely failed. The mother goat, with her strength and wisdom, successfully protected her children, preventing the bad wolf from succeeding. The mother goat entered the house and saw her kids safe and sound. Her heart was finally at ease. She hugged each child tightly, saying, "Mommy's back. You did very well. Mommy is so proud of you." The little goats hugged their mommy tightly too, their hearts filled with happiness and safety. The big bad wolf knew he had no chance left and slunk back into the depths of the forest. He realized he could never trick these clever little goats again. Their courage and wisdom made him feel Mother goat and the little goats were together again, their home filled with warmth and love. The little goats knew that as long as they stayed united, nothing could defeat them. Their story spread throughout the forest, becoming a beautiful legend. And the big bad wolf learned a lesson from his failure. True strength comes from love and wisdom, not from deceit and violence. Dear little friends, don't you think the little goats are very brave and smart? They not only protected themselves, but also thwarted the big bad wolf's plans. Imagine if you were the little goats facing the big bad wolf's tricks. What could you do? Could you, like them, use your wisdom and courage to protect yourself and your family? The story of the little goats tells us that no matter what difficulties we face, if we stay calm and use our intelligence, we can find solutions. Like the little goats, through mutual help and trust, they finally defeated the big bad wolf. What an inspiring and encouraging story. Imagine if you were the little goats. How would you play with your brothers and sisters? How would you sing and dance together? How would you use your cleverness to solve problems? Let's imagine together what your story would be like. Let's step into the world of the little goats and feel their joy and courage. Night falls. The little animals in the forest are getting ready for bed. The little goats in their mommy's arms. Listen to her softly telling bedtime stories, feeling extremely safe and comfortable. The mother goat gently strokes their heads and in a warm voice tells them, "Kids, you were very brave today, and Mommy is proud of you. Now it's time to rest." Let's continue our adventures in our dreams. The little goats slowly closed their eyes to their mommy's soft words. They know that no matter how noisy the outside world is, as long as they have their mommy by their side, there's nothing to fear. They feel their bodies relaxing more and more, and their minds becoming calmer. The mother goat gently blows out the candle by the fireplace, leaving only the soft moonlight streaming through the window. She softly says to the kids, "Good night, my little babies. May you have a beautiful dream." The little goats, under their mommy's goodnight wish, slowly drift into sweet dreams. The wind gently blows through the forest, bringing the rustling of leaves and the murmuring of a distant stream. These sounds accompany the little goats' breathing, becoming their lullaby for the night. In this quiet night, the little goats and their mommy enjoy this warm and beautiful moment together. Dear little friends, it's also time for you to go to sleep. Close your eyes, relax your body, and imagine you're lying in a warm little bed, surrounded by love and safety. May you have a wonderful dream. Good night, dear little friends. Hope you enjoyed our magical journey. Before you drift off to sleep, don't forget to subscribe to For You Kids to ensure you never miss a story. Good night, little ones. Sweet dreams.